What's going on, guys? Alright, listen. One of the guys asked me in one of my posts, because on an Instagram I post pictures of me when I was younger, and there's some good bodybuilding stuff on there, but there's a pose where I'm doing a vacuum, and a guy asked me, it was from like 1980, and a guy asked me, Greg, maybe you should talk about, like, how did you diet back then? And I'm going to be honest with you, in the 80s, when I kind of did a low-carb but low-fat diet too, okay? So I didn't cut out my carbs, and because the 80s was more of the high carbs, no fat, right? That was a very popular diet. But I kept my carbs low to really peel the body fat off. Although over the one picture that I'm talking about, I kind of over-dieted. I was natural, no steroids. I did fucking take a diuretic, and that kind of fucking actually ruined me. I took hydrodiol, in case you guys are wondering. But the diet consisted of, I used to eat a little bit of oatmeal and rolled oats, which was almost like Cheerios. Back then they had them, they were like just rolled oats, okay? I would eat that, no milk. I mean, I would eat it just dry. I would have, you know, that was the times of rice cakes and all that shit. I mostly ate chicken, skinless chicken. The problem is I used to fucking microwave it, and man, did that taste bad. It was horrible. I used to eat a lot of salads, alright, just salads. I would have just vinegar on it, no oil, because remember, back in the 80s, fat was your enemy. Before that, in the 70s, I did everything like Arnold did. It was meat, eggs, and water. That was like Vince Gironda's thing. In the 70s, that was big, okay? The Atkins actually came around in the 70s, Dr. Atkins. And that kind of dieting became huge, where guys ate just meat, eggs, and water, all right? But now we're talking about the 80s. So the 80s mostly was, you know, the high carbs. We ate rice. I ate rice. I even had pasta, believe it or not. Marathon runners used to use pasta back then too. So I would eat pasta, but the thing is, I'd eat it with no sauce, with no gravy, all right? And that's tough. That's tough to do, you know, after a while. You know, Paul DeMeo used to break my balls because I used to eat like Kaiser rolls or Italian bread during my workouts, because I'd work out for 3 to 4 hours, and I would drink, I would actually drink, like a root beer or cream soda. I used to drink old time cream soda, if any of you guys know what I'm talking about. It was a clear cream. But at the same time, you know, that's sugar. We didn't really think of sugars as being as bad as we do today. All right, the evil back then was fats. Everything low fat. Keep your fat low. So that's what I used to do. I used to eat skinless chicken. I didn't really eat beef. I was afraid because of beef. Talking about for contest prep, guys, because beef would make me, you know, had fat in it, and I felt like, you know, with that fat was like, because you're also having carbs, so the fat was like making you hold, you know, getting your gut bloat. So I didn't eat, you know, didn't eat any of that. So I would eat really small portions on a frequent basis. So that's pretty much how I eat. And it would make my stomach hollow, and I used to be able to suck a vacuum in deep. You know, so that's pretty much it. It wasn't nothing great, but the 80s was the low fat. It wasn't until the 90s and Mauro Di Pasquale started that, he called it the anabolic diet, which is the ketogenic diet, all of that stuff, where he came in with the high fats and the high protein and cut your carbs. But before that, everything was high carb, much higher carbs. In the off season, you ate a lot of carbs. You know, you just kept your fats low. Anyway, so there you have it. And I also used to use protein shakes and only egg whites, because the fat. So this is Greg Valentino telling you that's the fucking diet from the 80s. Stop fucking around. Do what you gotta do. Diet hard. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you, momos.